And he needs to just change his way of thinking, ongoing. Just to change our mindset, ideology and way of thinking, the person then understands his reality, what he's here for. Then he remains very happy in the world. The person who understands that Deen is a great asset, Iman is a great asset. So then, when he considers Iman and Deen as a great asset, will he protect his money in the world or his Iman? Tell me. The amal of the person, the deeds. In the hereafter, every success will come through amal, deeds. Just like in the world, all issues are resolved through money. You want to get bread, take money out of the pocket, then give us the bread. Allah Ta'ala said the amal, your deeds, is the wealth, the currency of the hereafter. That as the more beautiful your deeds are, the more valuable are your notes, and higher in currency your notes of deeds, then the more in Jannah they will be of use. In this dunya we have come for this purpose to this world. We've come to earn in this world. Say Subhanallah. We are laborers here in the world. We have come to work hard and toil. And the more we want to, we can make here in this world for the hereafter. And Allah Ta'ala has given us this life. There's no time in this life, even if we're sleeping. Even then, whilst you're sleeping, you can earn for the hereafter. That's the earning. It's not just whilst you're awake. Even when you're sleeping, you can earn. Everything of a human being becomes valuable with his amal, with his deeds. So, Allah Ta'ala, if He gives tawfiq to somebody, the ability to practice deeds, to accrue deeds, then it's a great treasure Allah has given to that person. He's made him very wealthy. Allah has made him very wealthy. But we'll come back to that same point. That even if we get the tawfiq to do amal, we say, okay, it's okay, I've done it, I've prayed salah, I've done hajj, I've done this and that. Brothers, this is such an extremely valuable thing. This is the highest in terms of priority. Allah, if we've attained this, if Allah has given this to us, bestowed to us amal, if today Allah has given us the tawfiq to pray salah, we prayed salah of Isha, great gift of Allah. Ask that person who doesn't pray. And the person who has prayed, then both of their eyes closed, then you'll realize in the grave the difference, the big difference. So if it's such a valuable thing that Allah Ta'ala has given to us, then we should protect it as well, isn't it? And how do we protect it, preserve it? For example, we say, oh look, he stood behind you, the thief. For example, he won't come into your shop and just, what sort of bandit is he? Will he come into a shop? Because the biggest bandit or thief is the thief of Iman, Aduwwun Mubin, Shaitan. His first attempt is that he wants to take our Iman. And if with the fadl of Allah, a person has Iman and he has protected, then he should try that, don't let him take it. Preserve it. And Shaitan, he tries to steal that. He doesn't let that person come towards amal. So when a person gets Iman, he doesn't let him come towards amal. Oh, I'll pray sometime. Where's it written, do this? These are the ways of Shaitan. Shaitan enables a person to say, oh, no, it's not necessary to keep the beard. Look, you don't need to keep it. Yes? And we don't even know how long the beard should be. I'm just giving you examples of parts of the deen. Oh, prayed salah, beard is not necessary. Now tell me, what a big deception Shaitan's given. Salah, Allah Ta'ala has taught us and told us to pray salah. It's His hukm. Rasulullah told us about salah, it's His hukm. As I said, these are words of Islam improvement. I'm not criticizing you, Allah, my friends and my brothers. Today if you don't learn them, when will you learn? Yeah, you've come here to learn, isn't it? Isn't it? Yes, we've come to learn. So may Allah Ta'ala allow that we will go into paradise. Yes, that's our dua. Yes, we are all sat in one boat. And we are all passengers in the boat. And for example, when you are a passenger in the boat, will you say, no, I want to eat fish and don't give to him? No, you say, give him as well. We're all in the same boat. You all love each other. All the passengers, they get to know each other. They love each other. So we're all sat in the same boat. And these are words of love that we're discussing. So who stops us? Who prevents us? Is it police outside who's stopping us? Or how dare you keep the beard, otherwise we'll shoot you? Or we'll lock you up. No, there's one force. And who's that? Shaitan. Oh, don't keep the beard. You won't get married if you have the beard. Or mother will say as well, father will go against, and sister, oh, you've become a Maulana. What's happened to you? Are you mad? Are you gone crazy? Or young man? And then they go, then he cuts the beard and says, oh, let me follow the fashion. And he's not here or not there. He's not on this side, he's not on that side. So what sort of life is this, brothers? Whose slaves are we? Who do we follow? And we've been a chain is being put around our necks. Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is our life, our heart, every single atom and every single part of our body. We have the love for Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then what a big munafiqat and hypocrisy that we love him and we don't accept his instruction. We don't make him happy, and why are we making him displeased? What's the reason? Shaitan. That we've been given iman, but he doesn't allow us to do amal. La tabtulu amwalakum. But your deeds, I'm going to make them go to waste, says Shaitan. This is the verse of the Quran. That do not waste your deeds. And this means that deeds can also be wasted. Just like money can be wasted. Deeds can be wasted. So Allah Ta'ala says, your iman, first he tries to stop that, then he tries to stop you doing deeds. But your deeds can also be wasted. So Allah says, protect your deeds. Preserve your deeds. Don't let them go down the drain. Otherwise, many people in this world, they pray salah, this and that, X, Y, Z, amal, and they'll have do mujahidat and hard work, and they'll do practice of the deen, but they will be thrown back to them because he was practicing on going, but the shaitan was stealing them and making his deeds go to waste. Do you understand what I'm saying or no? There was a friend of Allah. Protect the deeds is the big achievement. To protect the deeds. Amal Allah Ta'ala has enabled you to do. We have to protect them. So it's our responsibility. You prayed salah, protect your salah. Preserve it. You've recited, Allah has enabled you to recite, then understand its value and preserve it. Allah Ta'ala has given you a tasbih of Durood Sharif, given tawfiq to recite it, then preserve it, protect it. The women folk, Allah has given tawfiq to wear the burqa, adopt hijab, then value it and say, Allah has given me, not just you wear parda, and then you are wasting the thawab of that parda. So amal, deeds, Allah gives you the tawfiq, enables you, then don't reject it afterwards. Yes, don't make a U-turn on it of practicing it. Have you got those deeds still? Are they with you? That I'm pious and I've got 300 pounds. For example, I'm rich, I've got 300 pounds at home. But I left the doors open, oh madman, there'll be no money left when you go back. Yeah, you say, what are you saying? How can, this is what's happening to us. I've got so much salah. Allah's given you a tawfiq to practice. Then on the other hand, use your akal, your wisdom, intellect, protect and preserve your deeds. Do you understand what I'm saying? How do our deeds get wasted? The way that shaitan wastes our deeds. Most of all, and he makes us waste them. He gives us targheeb, he motivates us, encourages us. Do this action. When we do the action, we waste our deeds. And he makes us do the action. So most of all, the action or the tool that he utilizes, listen carefully what I'm saying, shaitan, most of all his technique, and Rasulullah told us this, well, listen carefully, the technique that shaitan uses most of all to waste our deeds, and what is that? Our tongue. Say subhanallah. Misuse of the tongue. Tongue. So great an asset is the tongue of a believer that Rasulullah said that if you guarantee to me your tongue, then I'll guarantee to you paradise. Subhanallah. What a great learning. Great learning. So he didn't speak about any amal. He spoke about preserving and protecting our deeds. Because without protecting, preserving deeds, doesn't matter how many deeds you practice, you'll waste them. So we're talking about preserving and protecting. Now if you protect your tongue, safeguard it, because the biggest hole in your vessel that will make the water leak, in other words your deeds leak, is your tongue. Allah's Nabi Sallam grabbed hold of his blessed tongue and told us, he took his blessed tongue by his hands and said, this is the most dangerous thing of a believer, and this will waste all of your deeds. Why? Backbiting comes from here, lying comes from here, gossip mongering, swearing, slander comes from the tongue, wasteful talk comes from the tongue. You understand this? You name it. Whatever you do, tongue is the root cause. A tongue. Yes, our teeth, 32 of them, behind that is the tongue, so that it doesn't come out. The teeth are the defense for the tongue. That's how much is the value of the tongue. Allah's Nabi took hold of his tongue and said, control it. Control it. So this is the worst misuse of the tongue. And sins come from here. Wastage comes from here. Immediately we waste our deeds. You prayed salah, you leave the masjid, and within seconds waste the deed. You don't even know your amal are going down the drain. Allah's Nabi was praying. Then take the hand of a wali Allah. And you can never correct yourself or improve yourself until you don't take the hand of a wali Allah, a sheikh, because we don't want to take the hands of the wali Allah, their guidance. Those who extract the jinns, the exorcists, and the ghostbusters, we think they're the walis of Allah. They show karamat and kashf, and they do magic, and they make the wife run away, and she says, my husband, and they say, oh, he's a wali Allah. Oh, and when he does dua, and a child comes to us in our family. We ask dua for a son, and the son comes. And when we ask for dua, immediately it occurs. And he does dua, and such an action he does that all our requirements of wali, he's a wali Allah. He is not the wali Allah. As Aisha Siddiqah then was asked, she asked the Holy Prophet, how can we realize, how will you know who's a person who's close to Allah, friend of Allah? Very easy. The Nabi said that when you see him and you remember Allah, he's a wali Allah, friend of Allah. Say Subhanallah. Yes, there must be a person who you see him and you'll remember Allah. Yes. Yes. Yes, no horns on his head, nothing extra special, because his pastime, his lifetime, his standing and sitting and lying down, his walking, his mahal, his environment is Allah, Allah's deen. So what else will you remember when you see a wali Allah? Yes, will you remember anything else? No, you'll just remember Allah. That's the sign of wali Allah. From your mouth you'll say Subhanallah. You say, no, he's not a wali Allah. And what's the biggest responsibility after you have Iman is to protect your amal. Just like you have money and you want to protect your money, safeguard it. Because you don't want it to fall out of your pocket. Obviously you will waste it. You will waste the deeds, you will get nothing in the hereafter. So you have to have a hisab of your deeds. So what do we need to do is to protect and safeguard our amal. Protect our salah. Protect your tilawat of Quran. Will you do this, brothers? How? How will you do it? Ask a friend of Allah, go to the company of a sheikh. Ask him, pick up their shoes, serve them. This is what we used to go and learn. This is what we used to learn in the sohbat. Yes, went with a black beard, and by visiting Hazrats from here to Pakistan, Pakistan to here, Pakistan to here, here to Pakistan, what else did I go to learn? My beard became white after that concern. Say Subhanallah. What else did we go to learn from him? Did I used to go to Hazrat to get taweez or ask, do dua for me? No. We used to revisit to go and learn these things from the wali of Allah. And the person who goes with this niyyah will never return empty-handed. If he goes to earn the dunya, he'll get nothing. Even if he goes and he sits down next to Hazrat Abdul Qadir Jilani and embraces and hugs him, he won't get nothing if he's gone with the intention of dunya. That to give and to take is based on the niyyah of that individual, that student. Abu Jahl's niyyah was spoilt, he attained nothing. Abu Bakr Siddiq's niyyah was correct, he became Siddiq Akbar. Look at the difference. Look at the difference. No? Is it not? So what we need to see and determine is that how do we protect our deeds? Such a great asset are deeds that, and if a person commits a sin worse than sin, another hadith I'll explain so that we have that clarity. Yes? The narrator is in Bayhaqi, this hadith, narrated by Hazrat... it's not coming to my mind. Hazrat Anas radiyallahu anhu, I think, is narrated this hadith in Bayhaqi, that Allah's Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam stated this point, that zina, adultery, that backbiting is worse than zina. Backbiting is worse, more extreme than zina, because zina is forgiven through tawbah, but backbiting is not forgiven until that person himself who you backbited against doesn't forgive you. What a big punishment. So either you go to that individual and ask for forgiveness, or going to Jahannam, and Allah is not in between. So what a big punishment in the dunya Allah has given that person that you have backbited against. That what you have to do, you will go into Jahannam, and you don't want to go to hell, and you have learned to go to that person with what face? You will say, I backbited against you. He'll say, come close, and he'll smack you. That you are disrespectful. That how can you dare to backbite against me? So what will you do? How will you go and express yourself to that person and own up to that person? But look at the justice of Allah Ta'ala's deen. So from here we have to see that due to backbiting, what is a big question? How many people have done backbiting? Astaghfirullah. So many people are involved in backbiting that in their faces people say they're pious and they praise them. Oh, he's very pious, he's an abid and he's a worshipper, but on the back he's backbiting. How will you go to that person's face and say, a backbiting? Because if he doesn't forgive you, then Jahannam is there waiting. Jahannam is waiting. No chance for success, no sadaqah, no tawbah, nothing will compensate for that backbiting. MashaAllah. Today in this day and age, how many people will get that punishment? How dangerous a situation we're in. So is there any escape from this sin? Tell me, what should we do? How does a person go? With what face does he go and own up and ask for the apology? So what happened in the hereafter? What will be this bad situation? All the salah, hajj, the worship, amal, Allah will put them in a line, and Allah will say, oh, give them away now. Allah will say, I'm not happy with him. The other person will say, give me his deeds, I'm not happy. He will be going to Jannah, the person you backbited against, and that person will be going into Jahannam, the person who backbited. Look at the situation. So today we need to think about this, ponder over this, that if today we lock our tongues, say Subhanallah. If we lock and secure our tongues, then so many sins will be safe from the sins. One example I give of backbiting on the tongue, because the tongue makes a person do many things, that nowadays the situation is such that in every house, before speaking, people swear, mother swear, sister swear, daughter, father, sons, all sat there. And if he wants to ask for something from a child, a glass of water, first he'll swear, oh, you this and that, go and get the water. He'll swear first. So this is a style nowadays that I've seen in the society. This young child, oh, he'll do nothing. He'll say, to your slaves, to your ghulams, Rasulullah said, silence. Silence is the greatest thing a person can possess, an asset. This is a hadith in Bayhaqi, you can read it yourself. So the Sufi individuals can understand this properly. Say Subhanallah. The Sufi majlis gathering, and I'm sharing this hadith with you in this gathering. So we say, what does this mean, silence? But I'll explain to you. So this hadith, mashallah, made me enjoy it. I was millions of times grateful, Allah, what a great learning you've given to us. And this, you will not get this learning from anywhere else. You won't get this cure from anywhere else. You'll get this in the Naqshbandi silsila. The Naqshbandi order will teach you this quality. You can go everywhere else, but the Naqshbandis will teach you this. Why? Because this is the characteristic of Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu. Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq radhiyallahu anhu, subhanallah, and this. What can make you silent? Dhikrullah can make you silent. There's no other way to break this issue. There's only one action that can make you observe silence. And what is action? Say it loudly. Dhikru.